Hi guys, it's Andrea from the blog Pine and Prospect Home, and today's blog post and video is all about my Christmas tree in my living room. This is the main tree that we have in our home. It is my favorite tree probably in the entire house, and I have 4 trees up this year. 5 if you include the one in my boy's bedroom. I love Christmas trees. They are just the best. But this is by far my favorite, and I just wanted to kind of go over with you guys where I got my tree. I get questions about that a lot, but also what I decorate my tree with and where I've found my decorations over the years, and some of the things that I've also made and that you could make as well if you're going for a similar look. I want to start off by saying that the tree, my living room tree that you see behind me, is also from Pulio International. You guys know that the tree in my sunroom is from that company as well. I love this company. Their trees are so realistic and so beautiful. I love the fact that the branches are longer in some areas, which makes it just look more realistic because it's not so perfect. I love sort of the sparseness of it, and there are just so many things about this tree. The realistic needles and just such high quality. You can get these trees on Amazon, you can get them at Walmart. I'm gonna put a link for you if you wanna check out my exact tree. And then I just love the view this year of looking at this tree in my living room and then seeing a second tree behind it in the sunroom. It's so beautiful, and at night everything reflects off of the French doors and the glass, and so there's just lights everywhere, and it's just magical, absolutely magical. So I will, again, like I said, link this tree if you want to check it out. It's definitely something that was an investment. I don't think it's anywhere near as expensive as some of the big tree companies that you see today. Oh my goodness, you can spend a lot of money on a tree. But this one for me was the most beautiful, the most realistic looking, and the most affordable. And let me just say that my whole married life, I have always had thrift store trees, always. My husband and I have never spent more than $15 on a Christmas tree, but we just love our tree. And everyone that comes over, I've actually had a few people ask, is that a real tree or is that artificial? Because it really does, the shape of it looks so realistic. So we love our tree. So I really like to stick to neutral colors for my own Christmas decor. I have nothing against the traditional reds and greens. In fact, I love those colors and they make me happy. I love seeing them in other people's homes. And I've actually tried to incorporate red in my home in the past, but for some reason I didn't love it as much as I loved the neutrals. So I chose to stick with gold and silver elements on my tree. And then I also wanted to add more of I hate to use the word rustic, but sort of a vintage feel, I guess, that didn't feel so elegant. So you will see a lot of mercury glass ornaments on my tree. I got some really large ones a couple years ago at Home Goods that are beautiful mercury glass ornaments, and I try to tuck those on very sturdy branches, usually deep within my tree, because my tree is hit a lot by my 3 boys. Whether they're wrestling or throwing pillows, it does get hit. In fact, the other day I came in the room and they were trying to lift the tree at the base. So I definitely like to stick to ornaments that aren't super fragile. One ornament that I got this year at Target, I got 3 of them actually, are these beautiful large bulbs with this gorgeous shimmery, almost like I think it's called the German glass glitter. I don't know if you've seen that before. The really big chunks of glitter all over the ornament, and they are so beautiful and they look so elegant. And I just love the way that they look on my tree this year. So I added those as well. I also have some softer, large white ornaments that are just like a soft white fur that remind me of snowballs or something like that. And I have 3 of those on my tree. And then I also have some silver pine cones that really remind me of mercury glass, and I got those at Hobby Lobby, and I love those ornaments because they are not breakable. They look like they are fragile, but they're not. They're made of a plastic of some kind, and so they're very durable. You can drop them and they will not break, so I love those pine cones. We ended up visiting some small shops this year before Christmas, my sisters and I, And we found these darling little pine cone ornaments also covered in glitter and then hung up and tied together with this beautiful velvet ribbon. And unfortunately I can't link those for you, but I got them, like I said, at just a little small shop that we went in, a local shop to us. And I think it's important to note that I didn't just go to one place, purchase all of my ornaments, and decorate my tree. A lot of my ornaments have been collected over the years, and I think that's really what gives your tree a beautiful vintage feel, is when it is collected and when you can, you know, pick up ornaments throughout the years that reflect your style, but when you pull them all together, it just creates this beautiful sort of old-fashioned vintage feel that I love so much. And so I grabbed those this year. I absolutely love them. I found some very similar to the pine cones, but they were just regular bulbs covered in that same glitter and ribbon, and I hung those on the tree as well. All of the small gold ornaments that you see, you can tell they are aged, they are tarnished, they are not brand new. All of those have been thrifted over the years. Whenever I see any type of gold ornament, I will grab them and pick them up at a thrift store, and I will add them to my tree. And I just love the way the silver and the gold look together. It's just such a beautiful combination for Christmas to me. And so I have those on my tree as well. And then all of the other ornaments on my tree, like I said, they've just been collected over the years. Little things that I've seen at different shops. I have a beautiful little neutral Santa Claus that I saw one year, and I fell in love with him. He really reminded me of those ornaments you see from the 40s or 50s. I loved the little details on him, so I grabbed him probably 5 or 6 years ago. I also have a beautiful little church that my sister-in-law purchased for me one year when she was at another small shop. And then a lot of the other ornaments that I have, believe it or not, have actually come from Walmart over the years. Every year I check out Walmart. It's just the closest store near us. Sometimes we'll go there for groceries, and I'll always check their Christmas section. And I found some great stuff from Walmart actually this year and in years past. So a few of the things that I found there this year, I found the most beautiful little clear, it looks sort of like a snow globe ornament. I think it is so precious with this little perch on the inside, and of course the glitter is so beautiful to me. That was a Walmart find. I also found this really lovely pine cone, very large white pine cone covered in glitter, and it was sort of carved out with this little darling scene in the inside of it. And I just, again, I couldn't believe how vintage it felt. And so I grabbed that at Walmart. Another Walmart find this year that I was so happy about were the wooden bead garlands. So I have 2 different garlands on my tree, and the one has wooden beads on it with twine that are sort of spaced out, and I got those at Walmart last year. But this year at Walmart, they had the beads that were all close together, wooden bead garlands, and I was so happy to find those because I have a few on my tree that I actually made. I just purchased some wooden beads on Amazon and made my own, but when I saw those at Walmart, I thought, oh my goodness, perfect, the more the merrier, and so I grabbed a couple of those. So I was very pleased with the selection at Walmart this past year. I get a lot of my wrapping paper from there and ribbon, and they really have a good selection. And then finally, the last thing that I add to my tree is my DIY Christmas hymn garland. And I've told you guys this story before, but we were left with lots of antiques and boxes of all kinds of things when we moved into this house. And one of those items was a box full of hymnals, old hymnals. And I decided to keep a few of them because I thought, I don't know, I hate to get rid of these. And maybe I could make something cool out of some of these hymns that I love so much. I grew up singing hymns. We still sing hymns in our church. And so a couple years ago, 3 years ago actually, I created this DIY hymn garland. It's so simple. I actually think it was my very first YouTube video that I ever published. So I'll put a card for that if you want to check it out. My youngest is just a little baby in that video. So it's kind of a sweet, just kind of a sweet video for me to go back and watch. But I love this garland. It's so easy, but it adds, again, that sort of vintage feel that I love so much. Again, I think that paper, that old aged paper and twine and those wooden beads really help to make the gold and silver ornaments. They just complement each other in a way so that the tree doesn't feel so overly elegant, which I have nothing against, but I do have sort of a rustic cottage vibe happening in my home. And so I think the two together really mesh so well, and they help the tree to have this more vintage feel that I love so much. So that's my living room Christmas tree. For my tree skirt, I did have a couple people ask. I actually just used a canvas drop cloth and tucked it around the tree. I have not wrapped any presents yet. The drop cloth is good enough for now. I do not have a star on my tree, and you know, it's not because I'm against stars. I love them, but I have not found the right one. I looked and looked, and I'm sure I'll find one eventually. My oldest son was very concerned about the star. I had a star on our tree last year made of tin, and I liked it, but I felt like I didn't love it. So I'm still looking for the perfect star or something. I guess it doesn't have to be a star for my tree. I keep an eye out at antique stores and thrift shops. I'd love to find something vintage or vintage looking, but yeah, that's the reason for the star. Well, I'm so excited to show you guys my Christmas kitchen. I want to show you more of Christmas in the sunroom behind me. Our bedroom is all decorated for Christmas. I even decorated my bathroom for Christmas this year. I've already shown you my dining room, so be sure you head over and check that out if you haven't already. But I have lots of fun content planned for you guys. I love this time of year. But if you guys have any questions about my Christmas decor this year, or if you have any suggestions for videos, I'd love to hear in the comments below. Please leave a comment. It means so much to me. I try to read all of them, and I try to respond to as many as I possibly can. As always, you guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.